One of the biggest mysteries in Netflix's original K-drama, Hellbound, is why and how the resurrections happened. After a successful first season, Hellbound Season 2 returned with a new cast and even more mysteries. Following a 3-year-long wait, the show is back to continue Yun Sang-ho's story about angels, demons, and the impact that these supernatural beings have on the world. Like the first season of the series, Hellbound Season 2 had a significant time jump that showed how much things had changed in the world after Tuffy's demonstration. At the end of Hellbound Season 1, Park Jong-jae was resurrected, which prompted questions about whether other characters who had gone to hell would also be brought back to life. While the sophomore season solved some of the mysteries from its first season, Hellbound Season 2 ended with several unanswered questions. How and why people are resurrected in Hellbound Season 2. The reason why people were resurrected wasn't explained in Hellbound Season 2. After a person is executed by the monsters in Hellbound, only a pile of bones and ash remain when they are sent to hell. Jong-jae's resurrection showed that the ashes and bones are turned into flesh when the executed person returns to life, similar to how a phoenix is reborn in mythology. While it's clear how a person returns to life, the reason behind why they are resurrected isn't explained. The resurrections, like the demonstrations, seem random. There's no proof in Hellbound Season 2 as to why these particular characters were resurrected and others weren't. It's possible that these characters were deemed worthy of returning, or that their resurrection would serve some sort of greater purpose. Either way, since Jin-soo became an executioner, it might mean that the path to becoming the creatures of hell starts with the demonstration, then the resurrection, and finally the transformation. Every character who has been resurrected in Hellbound. Only 3 people were known to have been resurrected in Hellbound. In Hellbound Season 1, Park Jong-jae, the first publicly known sinner, received the decree that declared she was hellbound and was subjected to the demonstration. After spending 8 years in hell, Jong-jae was mysteriously resurrected in the finale of Hellbound Season 1. A few days after being born, Song So-hyun's baby was visited by an angel who told her the exact day and time she would be hellbound. Song-hyun and her husband, Young-jae, sacrificed themselves in order to save their child. Unfortunately, Tuffy died, but she was resurrected immediately after. When Jong Jin-soo was still a child, he received a prophecy that told him he would die 20 years later. He couldn't make sense of the declaration, so he started a religious organization called the New Truth that preached the doctrine that those who received the decree were sinners to help him cope with his fate. On the preordained day, 3 hulking monsters came for him and took him to hell. The former chairman of the New Truth was resurrected 4 years after Jong-jae came back to life. What happens to people after they return from hell in Hellbound? Every character who returned from hell had a different experience. Following her resurrection, the New Truth took Jong-jae so she could explain what hell was like. They planned to use her to start a new doctrine, since the public no longer believed that only sinners were bound for hell after witnessing what happened to Tuffy. However, Jong-jae was incoherent and confused. Although Kim Jong-chul thought Jong-jae's words were nonsense, it turned out she was able to see how someone would die. The resurrected one could also see when the world would be ending. So, after Hae-jin rescued her from the clutches of the New Truth, she spent her remaining days with her family. When Jin-soo returned from hell, he lost his sense of self and had no idea who he was. Every time he looked in the mirror, he would see visions of the monsters that executed him. In order to make sense of his new reality, Jin-soo went in search of Jong-jae since she was the only person he knew who had also been resurrected. But when he found her, it was revealed that the two had different experiences in hell. While Jin-soo clearly had a terrible time in hell, Jong-jae remembered that she was a mother even when she was being tortured. After confronting Jong-jae and realizing they weren't experiencing the same thing, Jin-soo transformed into an executor and went back to hell. The other person who was resurrected, Tuffy, spent her early years being locked up and observed by Sodo. But unlike Jong-jae and Jin-soo, Tuffy didn't seem to have any special abilities and was just a normal child. Tuffy might have been normal because she didn't stay in hell as long as Jong-jae and Jin-soo did. The reason behind why these characters had different experiences after returning from hell isn't explained at the end of Hellbound Season 2, but could be delved into later.